Hey guys, it's Spacey Sims, and we are back with more Virche Epic Lycoris, continuing Science Salvation after story. Maybe gonna get the end of it in this part. I'm not really sure where else they're going with this. You know what I mean? But we'll see. Cause we already figured out, and we were like, okay, partly. So I'm okay with the fluff. And if we're getting down to a wedding, totes fine with that. But if you were continuing just to get me pregnant, I'm going to be pissed. That's all I'm saying. So, anyway. It had been a month since Cyan parted ways with his comrade and rival, Dahut. Every day had been busy at Arpachel, slowly but surely... busy as Arpachel Every day had been busy as Arpachel slowly but surely moved toward a future in which the curse was lifted. I can brain with words. I can word-head brain skills.
And the clinical trials were a success. We'll be implementing the latest memory model in new relivers starting today. We'll use the dummy memory I created to absorb the shock from the implementation. Everyone, to your stations.
Sir!
Spacey, I want you to lead and care for the relivers that awaken.
Got it. Okay. The drama music.
Contact the members of the parliament to the castle. Oh, yeah, contact the members of parliament to the castle.
Contact the members of parliament to the castle. You don't contact them to the castle. You call them to the castle. You summon them to the castle. You contact the members of parliament to gather at the castle. You don't just contact them to the castle. That's fucking weird, and I don't like it. I don't like that English. That's not, I mean, I know exactly what you're trying to say, but don't. No, don't. Stop it. That's wrong. Damn it, Tim, Ronald, what the fuck? Anyway.
We'll hold a meeting an hour from now to set a new law in place.
Understood. I'll also contact Eve and the others as guards. Again, we're gonna do... Okay, so I'm very confused. What... Unless they're just, like, tying it up, but, like, what's the purpose now? We already figured out Dahut and everything, so what? Because I'm just afraid. You could have ended it and it would have been like, okay, we're happy, good. But now you keep going, so I'm concerned, you know? The solution to economic disparity and discrimination lies in educating the public on such issues from an early age.
The Claude family will handle the necessary adjustments to educational materials. However, knowledge of the royal family's crimes alone won't be enough to revolutionize public perception among adults. I'll come up with a measure, so wait 2 days.
It's always 2 days with this man.
As a Scion, we learned the whereabouts of the guards who were involved in the siege against the Institute. If you can send us your men, we can make our move and capture them in one fell swoop. I'll join as well. Wait until I get there. 2 days.
He didn't say 2 days. I just had to throw it in there.
I assume it's about time that you're running out of antibodies, Scion Brofees. Perhaps you can tell me how your research is going as you draw my blood. Follow me to my lab. I'll also tell you how things are going between me and Spacey.
It better be beautifully. What is this long-ass amount of dots? He's still asleep after rolling off the sofa and onto the floor. Not surprising. That's what it was. I was like, what is this? Just like 3-hour-long dots. What is going on? I really should put him back on, but I don't want to wake him up. How are you going to heft him? Thank you very much for working hard for us every day, Cyan. He really is like the god here. Cyan...
What?
He returned from the Institute past midnight. As Cyan scratched his head while running his pen over the documents, I carefully called out his name. I hate to bother you, but you should really get some rest. You haven't slept well for the past 8 days or so. Hmm? Cyan raised his head up with sleepy eyes, as if bewildered by my comment.
Has it been that long? I didn't notice the time fly at all.
You really didn't notice how long it's been? No wonder he'd been at it the whole time, only finding gaps between work to get some sleep.
Don't worry, I'll go to bed once I'm done with these. After all, I can't overwork myself now that I don't have a spare body.
So, when do you think you'll be done with your current work?
By 3 in the morning. Go on to bed first.
You could still make a spare body. You know what I mean? Like, listen, I know you're going to do antibodies and stuff, so, like the aging so nobody dies, but like, I'm okay with you having a spare so that this is not final if you die right now. Like, listen, we're making improvements, but that doesn't mean we just like cut everything off. We're livers are still happening, so like, don't you die on me, motherfucker. This is the Salvation and we have to get married. If I'm not mistaken, doesn't work start at 5 in the morning? 5? What the shitballs? No wonder why everyone thought he was a tyrant. Waking up at 5? What the? Jesus, no. Holy hell. I didn't think sleeping for 2 hours counted as sleep. No, that's a nice nap. Also, we haven't gotten enough CGs. I feel like we need some more CGs. Give us some CGs. Yes, Cyan had gotten much busier ever since he parted ways with Dahut. He'd been working to help those nearing death, researching the memory crash, and developing a new memory bank model. He was also working on drafting a new law and papers to prove that the royal family was behind the illegal experiments. In addition, he was developing an antidote using Anko's blood to fight the toxins. As it stood, Cyan's plate was full of matters that only he could handle. Feel like you need to learn how to delegate. I feel like some people could do, like the research and stuff like that, you're going to have to, like some people could kind of help you do some stuff and then you've got to compile the rest and stuff like that. But like the coming up with new laws and stuff, somebody else should be kind of writing it. You gloss it. Okay, no, I want you to change this, this, and this. Somebody else goes back and write. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you're still in charge, but you shouldn't be doing all the legwork. You know what I mean? You gotta learn how to delegate some of these tasks. What should I do? He really needs to sleep today or his health is gonna worsen. Jump on his lap and fuck him to sleep. I'm just saying. I doubt he'd listen if I asked him like I usually do. Show him I'm lonely. Stare at him from behind. Show him I'm lonely. Oh, he is turned into such a little cinnamon bun. Oh yeah, he'll come cuddle with us if I say I'm lonely. And then as soon as we fall asleep, he'll go back to work. But like, whatever. You know what I mean? Yes. Okay, I'm going to cheat because I want to see, like, do we have any more choices? We only had one save. Okay, there are no more choices, so. I sat on the bed and dealt him my final blow. Could you please share your warmth with me again tonight? With a pillow in my arms, I asked him for company like a child. Oh, look at his little shack face. I'm sorry. I should get to sleep. The next moment, he tossed the pen from his hand and quickly slipped into bed next to me. All you had to do was it. Seriously, like her, she's like, could you maybe? And it's like, you'd be like, will you just come hold me? Blink your eyes, maybe bite your lip, give him a little sad face. Ass is in the bed faster than you can blink. Seriously. Cyan? Oh, I knew it. See, this is why you complain about not getting enough CGs. Look at him. Look at his soft, beautiful little face. What is it? Which is Why does it look like he also has a reliver mark on his chest? He's got his neck like one, but then what's going on there? Because that's not chest hair. That's a whole ass other, like, what is that? Like, that's interesting. But anyway, but look at how soft and delicate his little face is. And then his glorious hair falling out behind. I love the fact that we've got a cute little bob and all of our boyfriends have long, glorious fucking hair. Seriously. I looked at his beautiful aster mark as he moved closer to me under the warm bedsheet.
I don't stand a chance against you, do I?
Am I bothering you?
Yes, you bother me with how adorable you are. Your determination to keep me from dying is irresistible.
She actually looks really cute here, too. With her little blushy cheeks. Oh! Oh! Look at that. Okay, except for his arms out behind. I need that wrapped around me. That would have been the final nail in my coffin. Although, again, it's so funny that he's got, look, his hair tie, like, the last 2 inches of his hair. What is the purpose of that, sir? Why? I blushed as he gently played with my hair.
But you don't need to worry about me like this starting tomorrow. I'm done checking the memory banks of all the relivers, which means I'll have more time to spare from now on.
Really?
There's no reason for me to lie. I've set aside time for us tomorrow afternoon. We could go shopping like we did before.
Shopping?
Yes, but also, I'm gonna let the people know once again that you're going to be my wife. Perhaps it's because you're so caring of me, but I've noticed you're a lot more beautiful now than before. So I want to make sure no one even thinks of taking you away from me.
But I'm not.
Oh, are you going to tell me that the woman I love isn't as beautiful as I said?
No, I was gonna say I have no intention of leaving you. That's not it, but you're so mean to say that.
Sorry, I just can't hold back from teasing you sometimes.
Cyan gently laid a kiss on my temple to make me feel better. Ugh. Oh, God, I love him so much. They're not helping by turning our, like, emotionless robot into such a fucking little cinnamon bun. Look, God! Damn it! Ugh! Spacey's gonna die!
I won't force you if you don't want to expose yourself to the gaze of others.
It's true that it isn't easy for me, but strangely enough, I wasn't against his idea. I'm also a little worried that other women are thinking about you, especially knowing you have a heart in there now and you're capable of loving them. Because, yeah, I'm a little concerned of other women now. I was concerned about other women all the time, except for the fact that other women would have been like, oh my God, hi, Cyan, like, oh my God. And he would have been like, whatever. You know? And here's the fun part about Cyan, okay? Okay, right? I know we've all thought this, all right? Never had any inclination to love. I'm a robot. Love is worthless to me. Like, whatever. Okay. There are prostitutes in this world. So obviously, it's not like, well, the only reason people, like, get boned is because of love. They're like, hell yeah, I'm gonna fuck some prostitutes. It has nothing to do with love. In the sense of a prostitute, sex is a transaction. It's not romantic. Okay? It's like, it's a thing. We do it for funsies. Okay? Not because you're in love with anyone. Cyan also was not going to prostitutes. This man is an 80-year-old virgin, which is funny as shit. Okay? And kind of adorable. But is also like, he could have literally been like, no, he could have been a man whore. He could have been out there boning prostitutes left and right. You know, with like, yeah, no, sex is all about physical fun. Has nothing to do with emotion, because some people are like that. Some people, sex and emotion and like love are kind of tied together, and then some of us, it's like, I have to really be interested in you to want you to touch me, and for that to even work at all, unless it's 2D boyfriends, and then forget it, my brain's a whore. But like, reality body is a dead fish. Like, don't touch me. You know what I mean? Like, I gotta have the emotional connection before the physical connection's gonna do a damn thing. But then there's plenty of other people who are like, you know what, this guy's hot or this chick's hot, and you could totally have sex and have fun without the emotion behind it at all. There's different varying degrees of where you fall on this spectrum. That's why it's a spectrum, right? Cyan was like, none of it, waste of time. So before, when he was a robot, you would have had to worry that women might have been trying to throw themselves at him, but he was such a fucking robot and such a cold-hearted one that even if a woman was like, hey, he'd have probably stared daggers at her and like killed her just by looking at her with a glare. You know what I mean? You're like, oh, she'd have died just from the death stare, from even attempting to bat her eyelashes at him, okay? So you didn't have to worry about him, you know? I still don't think we have to worry about him, but now that he's got emotion, it's like, oh no, other women are going to be finally realizing that this hot man is not going to stab them before he would do anything else. So yeah, now we got to worry about some bitches. But we really don't have to worry about Cyan at fucking all. He only loves us, and that's romantic and beautiful. And I love him to death. And I find it even more adorable that it's like, this freaking grandpa never gave a fuck about anyone until now, and it's also like, he never gave a fuck about sex either, so that's fun. Granted, all of our boys are like that usually, you know what I mean? Look at Onko. You know? Look at it! Adolphe died how many times over, and it's still like, I've been alive for centuries, going through, jumping through time and doing whatever, just to bone this bitch. And always giving us up to other men. Wow. It's gotta suck for him. Anyway. I'm also a little worried that other women are thinking about you. I mean, rightfully so, though, because, God, have you seen this man? I'd like everyone to know that you're my lover. Naturally, there were many women who admired Cyan. Can you blame them? They admire him and also maybe partially want to be as beautiful as him. Because I'm not really necessarily sure if I love him or want to be him a little. Which is just a very weird thing. I feel that way about all my 2D boyfriends. Part of me wants to be them a little bit. Because they're just so goddamn ridiculously beautiful, and I just wish I were that goddamn ridiculously beautiful. It wasn't uncommon for me to hear girls and women talk about how handsome he was as I walked around Cernival. Handsome is not the right word for him. Gorgeous. Of course, I never pictured Cyan with another woman besides me, but Cyan Brofes was undoubtedly a man. Uh-huh. I wish we could find that out 100% for a fact. Let's take the dress off him. Let's take this night dress off and get busy. I sometimes wondered to myself how I should let people know that Spacey was his lover. Cyan looked at me with widened eyes, surprised by what I had just said. Hey, I'm gonna get possessive. If a bitch comes near you, I will kick her. Yeah. Oh, that's me. You don't like jealous girls like me? I tugged the bedsheet closer to try and hide my embarrassment. I was dangerous just now. Oh, no, because he was turned on by that. I already told you my plans for tomorrow. But now I just want to spend it loving you. Yes, please. As if to say he wouldn't actually do it, Cyan then wrapped his arms around me like I was a stuffed toy. I'll hold myself back, but in exchange, be my hugging pillow tonight, Spacey. Please don't hold yourself back. I say these things to try to rile you up, and then you just disappoint me. It was so adorable how Cyan would say this when he was actually the one helping me fall asleep. I'm your maid, your employee, your automated sandwich dispenser, and now your hugging pillow. You'll get more names moving forward. I'm happy with any name as long as it comes from you, Cyan. Hopefully wife is one of those. You just said it. Don't get mad at me for calling you something new later. I hugged him back and we both quietly fell asleep. Ugh. I need more beautiful CGs of him. There were still a lot of things to do. We might even have to face many trials in the future. Despite that, I know I can keep walking as long as I'm with Cyan. Lycoris petals that would one day turn red or white were flying in the air above Arpachel. As the black snow of petals fluttered across town, that seemed very end-coded, you know what I mean? But yet, we're out in town now. I was like, that seemed very much like, I'm like, it seems like, I'm surprised because that didn't feel like they would wrap it up there, but it had a very end feel to it. Not as bad as, as we've seen with some other game where it's like, that's the, why is that, why are we why? They did it worse than Mathis's. But that still had a very much an end feel. They do that a lot in this one. Again, this one wasn't as bad as other ones, but maybe it's just because at this point I've come to expect them to give me like end-coded things and just keep going, so. As if to show we were lovers, Cyan and I were walking through Coen arm in arm. Perfect. The one known as Death with God who announced that I was his lover. The one known as Death with God who announced that I was his lover. There's punctuation in there but there's no punctuation, but there should be. The people around us whispered, and I could feel their curious gazes.
Is everything all right, Spacey?
I love that he's dressed like this. I love that he is like, I'm not working today, so I'm wearing my normal people clothes, but you like, ugh, you look like you should live in that mansion. Oh, I love it. Yes, I'm sure everyone's looking at us. I'm sure everyone looking at us is only temporary. I walked together with Cyan as we enjoyed the view of flowers adorning the houses. I'm pretty sure there's another woman more suitable for him. Not you, bitch! I could hear people whisper in such a way, so rather than give a forced smile, I made sure to smile with confidence and happiness. I'd have glared at that bitch. I'd have looked at her and just been like, give her a look like, yeah, like you. What a whore. I'm gonna fight every woman in this frickin' country, okay? Don't touch my man. Look at him. Look at the way he looks at me. Look at the way he's looking at me. Ugh. God, I'm gonna melt. I didn't let go of Cyan's arm, and we continued our walk through the streets. To be honest, I wasn't really sure how I should react to the murmurs, but judging by Cyan's gentle smile, it seemed I was doing fine. He's just happy to be with you. He's probably not even paying one bit of attention. I kept my head up and walked proudly as we went on our way. And that's the thing. Oh, there's someone better suited for him than her. Oh, whatever. Oh, yeah. No, no, no. That's not where you're like, oh my God, I feel bad. That's when you're like, listen to these jealous bitches. They're intimidated by me. Hell yeah. It's the only reason they're insulting you is because they're jealous. Seeing us walking as equals, people gradually began saying, that's so nice. So relivers can actually enjoy love like them if they become normal humans. They began longing and imagining, and they also began wanting that precious emotion that could only be felt by becoming something imperfect.
I see. So this is all that was needed.
Cyan nodded with satisfaction, seeing the people's opinions change. What do you mean?
I made a decision to save this country, but there was one concern I had about its future. Because of me and the royal family, the people have a completely distorted view of life. I was concerned whether they'd be able to keep up with this revolution.
Well, I couldn't deny it myself. From their point of view, the world as they knew it would collapse and be replaced by a new set of laws and morals. Yeah, but these ones are sort of better. You know what I mean? Because you get to be a human being and actually express yourself, you know? And actually fall in love, have a good emotion, you know? Perhaps they'd be more afraid than confused. It wouldn't be surprising if they resisted the changes.
But I just found the answer. What's right and what's wrong? And the people need to be educated, but forcing them would defeat the purpose. And they need to have something to look forward to beyond the revolution. Only then can we say that the people of this country have truly changed. We can lead the way and become examples.
As if to show off in public, Cyan embraced me without hesitation. My heart began to race. Cyan's body temperature rose the moment our heartbeats synced. The sound and the heat, sorry. I could tell by those two things that Cyan truly loved me from the bottom of his heart. Cyan's simply amazing. Yeah, he is. This is me every single time he's around. Cyan is amazing. Love was merely an illusion to me as death, spreading misfortune to others. But now he shared with me a new love that would change the country. I gazed at him without fear of being seen. See, that's the difference than the world we're moving into. Is love is going to change this country, not hatred. There's a difference. You know? Without any hesitation, he laid a kiss onto Death's lips. His beautiful eyes promised me that we'd overcome any hardship. We couldn't get a cute kiss, CG? No, we're okay.
Just as I declared to Dahut before. We're the ones who'll become an example or change, my dear future wife. We will create that love together. A love unsurpassed that will change our Pashel.
He spoke with emotion beyond that of a god. Wait. CG? Maybe? It's all going white? What's going on? Nope, it's ending. Okay, honestly, that was a good place to end it. Hello, Adolphe, everyone. The weather's really nice again today. Are we getting married? Because, like, let me tell you something. He keeps calling us his future wife and all that, and if we got to marry Eve and we don't get to marry fucking Cyan, it had been 2 years now. We better got married! It's been 2 years! I was here once again to offer my prayer to the graves, covered with bouquets of flowers. It's been peaceful recently. I told them about the changes that were happening in the country. The parliamentary system was finally established, and they've established laws to protect the people. The royal family was exiled to a nearby island. I'm sure the tragedy that struck before will never happen again. This was a future that Adolphe and many others weren't able to reach. Even though I'm sad, the black lycorises growing around the grave swayed as if nestling close to me. Thank you. Was I about to cry again? I gave my thanks to the kind lycorises and wiped the pathetic tears from my eyes. So it's been 2 years already. Longing for the kind of love God had shown, more people were nurturing love and fewer children were being sent to orphanages. I was sure Milo and the others would soon set goals for their futures and leave the facility. So Milo didn't die with all the... I thought Milo did die with all the other kids. It was now my job as the presiding deputy to see them off on their journey. I'm sure I'll find a cure for the curse one day. So I doubt I'll be able to see you all anytime soon. So please, wait patiently. I didn't feel despair from not seeing them, but hoped that I would someday. I rested the bouquet of golden flowers on the grave where my dear family slept, and took my leave. Oh, there you are, Spacey. I was wondering where you were. Did you go see Adolphe and the children? Yes, the flowers were blooming beautifully in the garden, so I wanted to show them the flowers from the mansion's garden. I see. I'm sure they're very happy you visited. That said, I feel like you've been coming here a lot recently. I'm happy to have you here, but perhaps you can spend some time at the mansion, too. Well, I stuttered at Mother's suggestion. It wasn't as though I didn't want to, but... Well, staying at the mansion is... I feel a bit uneasy sitting still because I kept thinking about it. So you're telling me that helping with the chores and playing with the children calms you? Yes. Mother smiled happily, knowing what I was referring to. My upcoming wedding, it better be. I suppose I can't blame you. After all, you get the information before anyone else. Mother looked around us to make sure the children weren't nearby, then whispered into my ear. The antidote is almost complete, isn't it? Yes. I simply couldn't wait for the result we had been looking forward to all these years. Oh, okay, good. But I was also hoping maybe it's my wedding. Like, good for the antidote. Where's my wedding, CG? After taking care of whatever matters were pending, Cyan focused his efforts on creating the antidote. I also helped by living with him to support his needs while working. And now 2 years had passed, and the antidote that would halt the effects of the curse was about finished. As Cyan's research neared completion, he began spending his days and nights at the Institute. I hadn't seen him for the past few months. That's so sad! We haven't seen him at all? It's not even like I've barely seen him. I haven't seen him. Sweetie, you gotta be a better husband than that. That said, one of the employees at the Institute did tell me it would take a few more months until completion. I told Mother about the report I received from one of Cyan's direct reports who had come to check on me. Well, there's no way we're pregnant, because I highly doubt we've had sex, and also, my husband has not been around for months, so... Your Lycoris condition was cured a year ago. Now the curse that's plagued this country for so many years will soon be gone. I'm so very relieved. I'm sure Adolphe and everyone will give their blessing once that day finally arrives. Yeah, I'm sure. Happiness and sorrow. Mother and I looked up at the gentle sky above Arpachel as the two opposite emotions embraced our hearts. Even if this country would be saved, I'd never forget the pain of the past or those I had lost. I'd cry, grieve, and remember them as many times as I needed. This better not be where, like, this is the after story. Great. But where the hell is Cyan in his own story's after story? After credits section. You know what I mean? I could do this because beside me was a graceful god who would forgive me for it. The blue expanse spread before my eyes was so beautiful that I wanted to cry. Now bring me to my boyfriend. After helping with the chores at the orphanage, I said goodbye to Mother and headed back to Cheetah's. My daily routine recently had been to do some knitting as I waited for Cyan to return from his long absence. I have made a blanket that could cover the mansion. I hope Cyan's doing okay. For all I know, he might be pushing himself near collapse. He is back to eating floor bread. I've been delivering food to the Institute for him to eat, but oh, okay. Everyone was so busy, I hadn't had the opportunity to check on him. No, he's fine. Are you sure? He's really not fine. He's Cyan, but there's no way Cyan would ever collapse before he gets rid of the curse. He'll keep our promise and return safely. I know it. Could you imagine we had like a happy ending and then the after credit is Cyan died, but the curse is gonna be he got the cure, but then he died. I'd be so fucking mad. I might throw my controller at my TV and break it. You can't have everything happy and then the after credits destroys it all. All I needed to do was be patient and believe in him. I awoke to innocent voices. I opened my eyes to find myself in a dark world, and there I saw Adolphe and the children. Fluttering and swaying, two small lights were gently hovering before my eyes. Who are you? For some reason, I was sure that those lights were alive. I tried to ask their names, but they better not be. We're having kids now. Stop it. Oh, dear God, it's going to be like my fucking children. Oh, Jesus fucking Christ. Like, you know what? We didn't even get to marry him, but now we got, like, ghost kids visiting us. Like, I know it's too early, but we came to see you. And we don't recognize two little lights. Oh, my God, it's our two kids. Oh, Jesus fucking Christ. I'm just going to read over because I have no idea what... I'm assuming that's probably what it's going to be, and it's supposed to be, that's so cute and adorable. Don't ruin it, game. Anyway, I know it's too early, but we came to see you. We want to meet a nice soul like you as soon as possible. Huh. The two lights... No, the two humans didn't answer my question, but began circling around me. They flew around me playfully for a while, then... We'll be waiting. We're both waiting for you in the future. Until then, we'll be playing with our nice uncle who's sort of grumpy. I think they're supposed to be the souls of our kids and they're playing with Adolphe. That's kind of adorable. Okay, that part's adorable. Not it's the souls of our children that are yet to be born. Ugh, gag me. But the playing with our grumpy uncle, who's nice but kind of grumpy. It's definitely Adolphe. You can come and get us whenever you want, so... He's waiting for you outside. Hurry and see him. They continued chatting in a friendly way and were about to disappear. Wait! I tried to stop them, but it was too late. I reached out to hold the lights in my hand, but all I found in my palm was a gentle warmth like that of a newborn child. Oh, dear God. That's what you're supposed to... Obviously, it's supposed to be, but... It seemed I fell asleep while keeping warm near the fireplace. I don't remember much, but I feel like I just had the strangest dream. Listen, I'll accept this. Like, I hate, like, listen, the idea of, like, in the future we're going to have kids. No, don't even bring it up. Okay, don't. Stop it. But at least they're not going to force me to be pregnant. It's like, someday you're going to have kids, and those were the souls of your two kids coming and talk to you. Okay, cool. Fine. I'll accept that. If they did this in games, I'd be like, all right, I still hate it, but like, whatever, I'll accept it. Rather than like, now I'm pregnant and look, I had baby. Ugh. I don't know. Pregnancy and babies disgusts me. I'm sorry. I'm just like horrified by it. Okay? Like, Nothing has ever been said about pregnancy or childbirth or having kids or anything that has not ever horrified me. And then the more I learn, no matter how old I get, every time you get new information, it's always, that's even worse. I don't understand. Listen, more power to you if you've done it or you wanna, because, like, I think you have to have a screw. I'm sorry. Like, good for you that you are literally like, oh, that disgusting shit and and dealing with kids and all that. Like, good for you. Because, like, people need to be born, so good for you. But, like, not for me. Fuck no. Dear sweet Jesus, no, and I don't want it in my games. Even though, as a woman, I can still recognize good dad energy. You know what I mean? Like, when there's a man who's like a good dad, you're like, that is kind of hot. I get it. I don't want kids, but you still kind of want the good dad vibe. You know what I mean? You still want a man that would be like, you'd be a great dad. We're never having kids, maybe cats or something. We have birds. So just treat them like your children and then into, so I get that, you know? But otherwise, but none of that, I don't want the kids involved at fucking all. Anyway. I'll accept this though. Like, we can have the little dream of our future kids as long as you don't ever show those future kids and like 5 years later, here's our no. And don't ruin my CGs by giving me some CGs with fucking kids in it. Don't. Give me my wedding. Okay? Anyway. I opened my eyes and looked at the clock to discover it was well past midnight. Your kids were telling you dad's outside. Go get him. Oh no. Look at that time. I better change my clothes and get ready for tomorrow. It already is tomorrow, bitch. I'm just kidding. I knew it was strange for me to think this, but I feel like there's something outside. The weather was nice today, so perhaps it was a good change of pace to go and see the moon tonight. Oh my god, I just want to see Cyan standing there glowing in the moonlight. With that thought in mind, I quietly made my way out of the mansion. I opened the door to see the moonlight shine upon me. I looked around and there he is. Oh, Spacey. See, our kids were telling us. A shadow stepped boldly upon the gentle path of light from the moon. My beloved had appeared in front of me for the first time in many months. Cyan? What? It wasn't an illusion. Cyan! I realized then just how much loneliness had been building up inside me until this moment. Before I knew it, I dashed down the stairs to see him eye to eye as he was coming up the stairs. I'd have fallen down the damn stairs in my excitement. Welcome home. I was so worried since I haven't seen you for so long. I'm sorry I wasn't able to contact you sooner. And that said, I'm surprised you're still awake at this hour. Nah, our kids told me to come get that you were outside. He's like, or what now? I just happened to be up. I was so happy to see Cyan again. Each time I saw him, my heart beat with a joy that didn't stop. I'm not a child, so I need to restrain myself. Fuck that! Throw yourself at the man! Gently, though, don't knock him down the stairs. In order to settle my excitement, I asked him a question. So, what brings you home? I thought you weren't going to come back until... What are you saying? He chuckled as he smiled. I came back because I'm done with my research. Huh? With the smile still on his face, he took out a single vial. It was filled with some kind of beautiful liquid. It can't be... Was he serious? Is that the antidote? Correct. The shock was so grateful that I was at a loss for words. But how? The person you sent told me that it was going to take a few more months. Who do you think I am? It's only natural for a god to surpass the expectation of mere mortals. Look at his sassy, sexy little face. God, I love him. The sparkling liquid reflected the moonlight, containing within it the power that would pave the way toward a new future. Get to the kissing him CG or the getting married CG. Come on. Like, I get it. Yeah, saving the country. Fuck that. Kiss the man. The moment my brain understood this, Adolphe, everyone... I burst into tears at the memory of those who would never see that future. Knowing you, it's no surprise you'd think of them before feeling any happiness.
It proves you've learned to look at death just as much as I have. I wouldn't expect anything less from the death I chose."
He then stared at me and put the vial away.
"And there's something I wanted to say to you once this was complete."
Huh? He's proposing, isn't he? He's on his knee! Jesus Christ! Look how beautiful his face looks! Look at the glow on him! Cyan knelt down and took my left hand, and tears began spilling from my eyes. Like, he looked so serious. And, like, there is an expression on his face I don't think we have ever seen before.
"Let's get married, Spacey."
Not as romantic as I expected it to be. Let's get married. Close enough. God's majestic declaration resounded with dignity through the world I lived in. It seemed all movement and sound had gone still. In the silent space, the only thing that was certain and absolute was the future Cyan said would come to be. But Mary? It was as though I had to repeat the word to confirm the meaning of it. I want to slap her sometimes. Throw yourself at him and say, yes. God, girl, don't be stupid.
"That's right. I want everything that is you. So become my wife. No, please become my wife, Spacey."
I'm gonna cry. Girl, you better say yes. I mean, there's no way she wouldn't say yes, but come on. As if he were simply obeying the heartbeat of his memory, he confessed his love with deep passion. Our little robot's grown up so much, and it warms the cockles of my cold, dead heart. Spacey's gonna turn into a crying mess. I could tell Cyan was anxiously waiting for my reply. Just as he said before, it seemed he was merely a man when in front of me. If so, I wanted to express my joy to him as a woman in turn. Yes, yes! I love you, and I want to be your wife. Me too. I answered him clearly, as I looked at him anxiously to see if he heard my reply.
"Of course. You're the only one who's the right to be by my side."
He spoke as if savoring his joy. Look at how beautiful he fucking looked. Jesus Christ.
"Even if you lose your role as Death, I want you to promise to be with me. I also vow to always be with you."
Yes. No matter what trials awaited us in the future, I promised I would never leave his side.
"Let's live a long time, Spacey. That way I can give you my love for as long as possible."
I promise to love you forever, Cyan. As your wife, Spacey Brophies. That's all I ever wanted in my life. Oh! How cute! Oh! Tears of sorrow slowly changed into tears of joy. This time we were bound by our oath. A pledge to live long into the future, sealed with a kiss. We kissed over and over again as if reassuring one another that this wasn't just a dream.
"I love you, my dear Death. My first and lifelong love belongs to you, and only you."
That's why the end is called first love, lifelong love. God's love that surpassed the world's dyed me fully under the beautiful moonlit night. Yeah. Later in the future, a certain myth was born here in Arpachel. There once was a very small country in this world known as the country possessed by death. Its people had given up on fighting death, but a certain capricious god created life that could be repeated, upon which the people relied in order to live their lives. This god met Death, who understood the sanctity of life, and God soon fell in love. This country then went through a revolution. It didn't take long for it to be known as the country that didn't give up on living a normal life. Death and the loving God went on to have beautiful children and grandchildren. Okay, listen, you kind of forced me to have kids via the story, but I'm okay with it. I'm okay with it in this context, and that's kind of adorable. The two lovers lived their lives together, and until the very last moment when they took their final breaths, they loved each other and lived a life of happiness. So, that's an okay way to kill us. Because we lived into old age. Well, Cyan got to live into real old age because he's already 80, so he got to live like super fucking long.
We're going to get married. Give me your vow that you'll become my wife and agree to be loved and happy. I'll also give you my vow that I'll continue to be a god befitting of death. Where you reside is next to me.
I love him to death. Well, we literally. Ah! That was from his bad end. Oh, look at our poor baby. So sad. Oh, that's interesting. I didn't notice this version of the CG. It's her shadow. Because that's like over it, you can see like her shoulder and her hair, like the bits of her hair. It's like she's like we're looking at the back of her head, like and looking through her, looking. Oh, I didn't notice that the first time we saw this CG. Like holy shit. So like normal, and then you can see her outline. It's so much easier when it first pops up. You can see it better, but you can see the top. Like that's her hair flowing out, and then like her shoulders. Holy fuck. Did not catch that the first time. I mean, because that was from the depression ending. So. Oh, look at him biting our ear. He's adorable. I love him so much. Ugh. Although, why does it look like his hair is held together with a twisty tie? Why is that a twisty tie? And all the other ones, he's wearing a ribbon, and I just noticed, I'm like, that's a twisty tie. That's a twist tie. Like, sweetie, that is not a proper accessory. Cyan sleeping on a couch, eating bread off the floor, and tying up his hair with a twist tie. Yeah, okay. Makes sense, actually. Cyan is absolutely my favorite, but I think I enjoyed this almost more because, like, all the other characters, like, they have feelings and emotions and hearts, and they want, you know what I mean? And Cyan being the character is like, yeah, no, fuck everything. I'll sacrifice anyone. And then him turning into this is probably the most heartwarming. You're like, how are you, like, so adorable? Like, the other characters, if you put them in acting like this, you're like, oh, that's adorable and sweet, and I love it. Cyan acting like this is like, it squeezes your heart to the point where you want to literally cry and or die because you can't breathe, because how the hell did this man turn out like that? You know what I mean? Like, he's so fun. You're like, why are you so adorable? Because he was the complete opposite of this, you know? He had no emotions, you know? Which is, and I love the robot characters, so, like, when they fall in love, but, like, all the other robot characters in every other game, right, have some kind of emotion. They're angry or they're bitter or whatever, and they're just not going to fall in love. So when they do, it's like it's still adorable and amazing. But Cyan is like just exponentially greater. And I think, yeah, okay, these were from the prior ones. Ugh. I still love this one. Ugh, we've already seen that one though. That was insane. All right. Ugh. Like, he's so adorable, but look how beautiful. Just how goddamn beautiful he is here with the light, the way the lighting is done. Ugh, amazing. But you know what I mean? Because, like, it's not even like he's angry or bitter or anything. He has nothing in him, no emotion. So the fact that then he's like, let me actually do what Dahut wants, make a heart that's capable of feeling emotion, blah, 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 and then, like, is now turning into this. And it's like, and he's my favorite, so I don't think that helps. Doesn't hurt, but it definitely doesn't help me not adore him 10 times more. But anyway, I'm assuming the next part's probably going to be extremely short because we only have one bad end. We have a bad end, but we only have one. So it'll probably be super duper short. But anyway, I will see you guys next time. Remember to give the video a big thumbs up and subscribe to see more.